Okay, so first we briefly recapitulate what we have seen in last lecture. In last lecture,
हाँ आता भी इंजीनियरिंग सेकंड
okay. So first we briefly recapitulate what we have discussed in last lecture. Uh, in last lecture we have discussed about the Python identifiers. So we have seen how actually we can write a name, the variable name. For variable name is nothing but the identifier, which identify the particular memory location. Whatever the value is stored there, we can refer that value by these identifiers. So we have seen some rules as well. Even I have asked you the question based on this identifier in a test. I hope all you have attended Moodle test that I have shared with you before day before. So there are some rules we have seen in last lecture. We have seen the Python statement. Suppose if you want to write your one statement into the number multiple line, how you can write into the multiple line. We have seen the multiple ways it is possible. We have seen Python indentation. What is the role of this indentation in Python? Like you can create a block by using this indentation. By considering this example, we have seen how actually the two block here we have created. We have implemented one program. Python comment. In the last lecture, we have discussed what is the role of commands in the programming and how we can comment into the Python. If you want to comment a single line, that time we use a hash symbol. If you want to, if you are commenting multiple line, that time we have to use this double quote. That first statement you will call as a document string. So it is like a comment only because we have seen the same way we comment, but actually this double quote, this triple quote we use for multiple comment line, but same triple quote if you are using uh, for any module function or class, and the first statement is your triple comment line, which state that this is your doc string, which specify about that module, function, or the class or the method, whatever you are writing. Also, we have discussed in last lecture about the variable. So we have seen the different types of variable, how you can assign multiple values to multiple variables, how you can assign the same name to the multiple variables. Then constants. If suppose there is a few values are constant, and if you want to use that value multiple time, how actually you can write all this value in one py file, and you can import that py file into your program. Like this is a constant.py file. It means these two lines are saved in one program, like you use in a C program. You are saving one program in .c. Similarly, here we are saving this program by the constant.py file. And this constant.py file we are importing in another program, that is import constant. And by this way, suppose in a constant, if there is a number of constant values, you can refer a particular value by simply the constant, the file name dot that variable name, whatever you want to use in your program. Like here we want to use a pi, so we call it as a constant dot pi. Literals, here we have discussed how actually there's a numerical type of data we have to write. For example, if you are variable 1 is equals to 12, it is like a C only. So numerical, there is no, you will not find any single quote or double quote here, because this is a number value. If it is a string value, we have to write a double, with the string, you have to write your double quote symbol before and after, so that the Python will consider as a string. If it is a Boolean value, either true or false, so you will not find any kind of double quote or single quote here. And the special literals, so here again you will not find any single quote, double quote, but food is none, means the value is considering as a none. Okay, so in the last lecture, mainly we were discussing about the data types in Python. So I was asked you in the last lecture, what is the difference between immutable and mutable? So many students have answered me about immutable and mutable. The difference between immutable and mutable. Immutable means actually we cannot change, and mutable means we can change into the list. So it having the number of advantages. So data types are actually the classes, and variables are instances, or you can say the object of these classes. So these data type, you will consider it as a class, and whatever the variables are there, you can consider it as an object. So the different data types available in Python. So here we will discuss few like numbers, list, tuple, string, set, dictionary. So in today's session, I am going to cover this part, that is the data types in Python. So I think this first data type we have covered in the last lecture, that is Python numbers. So in last lecture, we have seen in Python, there is three different types of numbers are the format we use, like integer, floating point number, and the complex number, right? So even we have seen example in last lecture, like a is equals to 5, that is an integer, type is integer, 2.0 is a type is float, and 1 plus 2j, that is real plus imaginary part, so it is a complex number. So we have seen how actually we can identify the type. Okay, so up to this point we have discussed in last lecture. Now today we'll cover the remaining data type. Okay, so the first data type, that is Python list. All are very important when you are implementing a program. Many time all these data types are required. So listen carefully. All the concepts are very simple. So practically, we will discuss every concept here, and it is very easy to understand. If you see, the list is an ordered sequence of items. So in list, there are number of items, and it is in the order. So you will find there is an order like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So ordering is there. And suppose if you want to access a particular value by their order, you can access that value. Because whatever the element in the list, it having an order. It start from 0. So if you want to access a value, 5 value, yes, it is allowed. The list will allow you to access whatever the value on 5 number, you can retrieve that value. You might have used this kind of concept in the C, like in a for loop, in a so array. Suppose if you want to access a particular indexing value, by their indexing value, you can access that number. Like 5, suppose you want to access a 5, so your for loop you start from 0, and by this way, actually you can retrieve their values by using their indexing number. So in a list is ordered sequence of items. And this type, the list is in many program you will find the people allowed to use a list. It is very flexible. The another thing is like the different items we can add into the list. So all the items in the list do not need to be the same data type. So the different data type item we can add into the list. So here the example is given. Like the first is your integer. Second is what? That is a float. And third is again your the string. So here you will find there's a different data types, but all in the list. So here we have seen it is ordered, it is very flexible, and here in a list can be a different data type element. Items separated by commas are enclosed within the square bracket. Again, here you will find every item is separated by the comma. Every item is separated by the comma, and it is enclosed by this square bracket. So here you will find at the beginning and there is a square bracket. It is single quote string. So already I told you, either you can use a single quote or double quote for the string, right? Items separated by commas are enclosed within the bracket. Use the slicing operator to extract an item or range of item from a list. So suppose this is a list, and suppose if you want to extract this item, so it is on the position number 1 because 0, 1, 2. So this slicing operator is available. Suppose if you want to extract number 1, so what you will put here, A of 1. So by the A of 1, you can extract this element from the list. It is very simple. And index start from 0 in Python. So here in Python, this indexing start from 0. So if you want to access the 1 number item, this one is the 1 number item. This one is the 2 number item, and this one is 0 number. Now here, in this example, we'll see. And another thing that you have to remember that is like a list are mutable. Mutable means if you want to alter, if you want to change, if you want to edit any element from the list, yes, you can edit that element from the list. You can alter, you can change the element from the list. That's why the list is immutable. Now here the example is given, this example. Now suppose if you want to access the element number 2. So if you are writing element 2, so 0, 1, 2, so 15 number element will be displayed. So in the output you could see here 15 number. If you want to access 0 to 3, so 0, 1, 2, 3, so 5 to 20. So here you will find the values are like 5, 10, 15. So these values are extracted. And here suppose if you want to extract a value after the indexing 5, so here it will start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the last from this point, it will be printed. So output is 30, 35, and 40. So the same thing we could see in the program. Suppose if you are implementing list, so A is equals to, suppose the list is, the elements are 5, 10, 15, and 20. And I'm printing here suppose A of 2. So A of 2, 0, 1, 2. Second element is 15. So the output is 15. Suppose I want to access the elements from 0 to 3. If I run here, so here you will find the elements are 0, 1, 2. So up to 3, the elements are printed here. And suppose if I want the elements, for example, after 2 or after 1, in this way, you will find here after from the first element, all the elements printed here. So I want the element from the first element. So one column which shows all the elements from the first element. So 10, 15, 20. So all the elements are extracted. And as I told you, it is mutable. Mutable means suppose if you want to change a particular element, suppose A of 2, I want to change as 25. Okay. And then if I want to print this list, now we will now see here 0, 1, 2. This second element is what? That is 15. But I want to make it as a 25. So A of second element is equals to 25. And when I printed, the list got changed here. 5, 10, 15, and 20 instead of 5, 10, 25, and 20. So the concept is very simple. Next one is a tuple. So what you have to do, you have to remember all the concept comparatively. If you will compare, like what is the difference between list, tuple, set. So by the comparatively, you can easily remember all the things. Now you can compare it in between list and tuple. What are the differences in between list and tuple? So here, tuple is an ordered sequence of items, same as a list. So this is the first difference that is similar. So in the list also, the ordering is there, as well as in tuple, the ordering is there. So ordering is there. It means by the index value, you can access a particular element we have seen. But the tuples are immutable. So what is the difference? Even though you will find the list and tuples both are the same, because here you will find the difference. Integer, float, string is there, separated by the comma, right? So in tuple also you will find every value is separated by the comma, and again the different data type like integer, string, and complex number. So different data type is there. But what is actual difference between the list and the tuple? The difference is your tuple are immutable. Immutable means you cannot be modified. You cannot modify the whatever the items in the tuple. So it is it is used to write protect data usually faster than list, as it cannot change dynamically. So what are the main advantage of tuple? Like suppose if you wanted to do not make a change in your data dynamically, whatever the data you store in the tuple, it should not change. So that time actually we use this tuple. It is like a write protected. Whatever the values in the tuple, you cannot modify. So in your program, is there any case required? Whatever value you have kept in the tuple, this value should not change dynamically. That time we can use this tuple. And we can define this tuple by these round parentheses and separated by the commas. So here in a list, you will find it is by the square bracket. It is defined by the square bracket. All the elements are under the square bracket in the list. But in the tuple, you will find it is in the round bracket. Tuple in the round bracket and list is in the square bracket. And in a list, suppose if you want to extract any value, you use a slicing operator like this square bracket, right? Yeah. Similarly, even in a tuple, it is in the ordering, it is in ordered form. So if you want to access a particular value, we have to use the same slicing operator, the square bracket, to extract the item. Yes, you can extract a particular item, but you cannot change. Now here is the example is given. In this example, so tuple we have created the elements are 5, integer, string, and the complex number. Now, again here you can note the difference. Instead of the square bracket, here is a round bracket is there. And suppose if you want to print access a particular first element. So here we are accessing first element, print t of 1. 1 is what program. So in the output, you will get the output that is a program. Suppose if you want to access elements 0 to 3. So if you are writing 0 to 3, print t 0 to 3. So 0 to 3, it means all the elements will be printed here because this indexing also starts from 0, 0, 1, 2, and the 3. So all the elements will be printed in the output. Now here, if you see here, what I want to do here, this is the 0th element, that is a 5. And this element I want to change. So this 5 element, I am making a change here, that is a 10. So t of 0 is equals to 10. So when I am doing this, I got the error. Why I got this error? Because this tuple is immutable. Tuple is immutable. You cannot be modified. You cannot modify tuple. The same thing we'll see. Whatever we have discussed is correct or not. So here we first initialize a tuple here. So t is equals to the same example I will take 5, and the first thing is program, and one complex number was there, so 1 plus, for example, same complex number. So this tuple we have created, and suppose I want to access the first element, so print first element, spelling mistake is there, print first element, okay. Okay, right. Why I'm getting this error? Because I'm not specifying the tuple name. That is p of 1. So p of 1. So this first element I have access. That is the program. Similarly, suppose if you are writing 2 to this complex number 1 plus 2. And similarly, suppose if you want to extract elements from 0 to 2. example here, you have seen 3, so I got all. And suppose the same way, if you want the value of from the first, it is like very similar to the list. But what is the difference? The main difference is, suppose if you want to make a change here, like suppose if you want to make change the first value is, for example, 10, you will get error because tuple object does not support item assignment. You cannot modify tuple, right? It is immutable. So practically, even you can implement a program on list, tuple, string, set. The next data type that we are discussing, that is a string. So in a string is a sequence of characters. So in a string, you will find there is a characters. Use a single quote or double quote to represent a string. Even you can use this single quote or double quote to represent a string. Either you can use a single quote or double quote. Slicing operator can be used with the string. So the same slicing operator we can use. Suppose if you want to extract a particular character from the string, we use the same slicing operator. So here you have to note down in a list, in a tuple, in a string. But if you want to access a particular value from the list, string, or a tuple, we use the same square bracket slicing operator. And strings are immutable. Immutable means you cannot be modified. You cannot modify a string. So tuple, you cannot modify. String, you cannot modify. List, you can modify. So here in this example, the example is very simple. So for example, S is equals to hello world. This is our string. And what I want to do here, suppose if I want to access the fourth indexing number, so I'm writing here S of 4, print S of 4 is equals to S of 4. So it will be printed like print S of 4 is equals to. So whatever you are writing in a print double quote, in a print statement, so it will display it in output. So in the output S of 4. Because of this I have written, I got output like this. S of 4 is equal to 0. And if you want to access element from the character number 6 to 11, so 6 to 11, the word is WRLD. These characters are there. So WRLD, it will be printed. This will be the output. And suppose if you want to make a change, the fifth character, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Instead of O, if you want to make it D, you will get error. Why error? Because it is immutable. Immutable means you cannot modify. The same thing you can implement like S is equals to the same example I'm considering here. Okay. And suppose if you want to print S of 4, S of 4, so S of 4, there is a O, so O is there. 3, so 3 is there. Third character is L is there. Because always it starts from 0. 0, 1, 2, and 3. L is there. But actually in a book, so do not confuse, it is written like this. S of 3 is equals to, right, like this. So suppose if you want output like this, S of 3 is equals to. So S of 3 is equals to. So whatever you are writing in the print double quote, It will be printed as it is. Whatever you are writing here, no matter whatever you are writing here, it will be printed as it is in double quote. Right? So but to make it, keep it small, I'm not writing this, I'm writing on the S of 3. Yeah, it's there. All right. So string, the same way, suppose if you want to access element from 3 to 5, yes, we can access, that is L and O. 3 to 5 element, uh, suppose I want the element, the character after the from the third character, so 0, 1, 2, 3 up to third character, all the remaining characters printed. So it is very easy. If you learn one concept, you can easily remember all the concept, and you can comparatively, you could remember all the concepts. Similarly, suppose S of 3 want to make a change. S of 3, what you want to make it as, for example, D. So I got error. Why? Because here you cannot modify. You cannot modify. You might have thinking I have not written it in single. I'm writing here in single. Still, you will get the error because it is immutable. You might have thinking single quote. I'm writing double quote, but still you will get error because it is immutable. You cannot modify. Okay. Now the next one is that is set, Python set. So set, you are aware with the set. In 11, 12, in first year math, many times you have used a set. So mainly, what is the use of set? Acknowledge in your chat box. When you have used a set in mathematics, for what purpose you have used a set? Are you with me? For what purpose we use a set? To collect data, I think around 58 participants are there. Okay. So number of got responses I got, like to create a collection of distinct element, collection of something data to collect data. Uh, but I was asking you what kind of operation you have applied on a set. Right. Siddharth have replied like union, intersection, right? I hope all you remember all these concepts. Union, intersection, complement, right? So the same kind of practical program you have, in which you have to identify the union, you have to the two sets you have to consider, and you have to perform operation like intersection, union, this kind of operation you have to perform. So we'll discuss about the set. So again, the comparatively, you could remember about the list, tuple, string, set, all around the same. The explanation is same. So set is an unordered collection of unique items. So here you will find there is a little differences are there. It is not the case. All the data types are same. No, every data type having its own advantages and disadvantages. As according to your requirement, you have to use respective data types. Like here, you will find the set is unordered collection of unique items. Up to the set, we have discussed about the list, tuple, string. So all are ordered. Ordered means suppose if you are writing T of 2, yes, you can access a particular element, whatever the indexing value, whatever elements is available on indexing value 2, right? In this way, you can access. But here it is unordered. Unordered means you cannot retrieve element by their indexing value. So ordering is, there is no any kind of ordering. It is only unordered collection of unique items. Again, here you will find it is a collection of unique items. Unique items are there. It is not the case. It is a combination of like integer, like again the float, again the string, again the complex number. No, here it is the collection of unique items. Set is defined by values separated by comma inside a curly bracket. Now here in a tuple, we have seen it is a round bracket, the list is a square bracket, and set is what? The set is curly bracket. That you have to remember. Set is curly bracket. So it is defined by the values separated by the comma inside the curly bracket. So again, it is separated by the comma, like your list and tuple. And items in set are not ordered. They are not in ordering. Set operations like union intersection on two sets. So two sets are available. We can perform this union intersection operation. So set have a unique values. They eliminate duplicates. So if you are writing the duplicate values in a set like 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, and if you will print your set, you will get the output like 1, 2, 3, 1, because it eliminate the duplicate items. It keep only the unique item in a set. So here in this example, you could see here 1, 2, 2, triple 3. So here 2, 2 and 3, 3, 3 is repeated. 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3 is repeated. But here when you have printed, you will find there is only the unique items are there 1, 2, 3. I think Samruddhi Chaudhary have a question. So at the end of this session, I will allow you to ask a question. Okay. So set have unique values, they eliminate duplicates. So since set are unordered collection, indexing has no meaning. Hence, the slicing operator does not work. So obviously it is unordered. So indexing is, there is no any kind of indexing. You cannot retrieve particular element from the set. So obviously you cannot use slicing operator because there is no ordering. Na? So you cannot retrieve any element from the set. So here is the example. So here set. In a set, you will find if it is in the curly bracket, so it is a set. So obviously, even in mathematics, you use this curly bracket only for to define a set, right? So 5, 2, 3, 1, 4 elements are there. And suppose I am printing this element in a set. So here, when you will print these elements, you will find in the output the element items in the, whatever the items available in the set, in the output, it will be printed. If you want to check their type, so in the type here it is class is set, and you cannot access a particular element. Suppose if you want to access the first element, you will get the error message. Now we'll see the same thing practically. And suppose if A is equals to, I am creating a set here, and in set I am putting a value like 2, 5, then 3, then 1, then 4, then 1, then 2, right? Again, for example, 1, and here suppose I'm using 2. Okay. So here you will find multiple elements are there in a set. Now suppose I will print this set. So print of A. So already I told you, if the elements are frequented, repeated, only the unique items displayed in a set. So here the unique 1 is frequented 3 times, 2 is frequented 2 times, but in a set only the unique items are displayed in a set, right? Suppose if I want to know what is the type, it is tuple or list or string. So simply print type A. The Python will tell you this is a set, right? So by the type. Now suppose if I want to make a change, like I want to make a change in the second element, and the second element, suppose, sorry, I want to retrieve a second element here, A of 2. So I will get the error message. Suppose if I want to modify the element, A of 2, I will get the error message, because you cannot use this kind of slicing operator. You cannot access a particular value because it is unordered. There is no any kind of ordering. There is no, actually, the indexing value is not available in the set. Python dictionary. So the next data type is dictionary. So again, as I told you, for this, even though multiple data types are there, but comparatively you can easily remember. If you remember their differences, then you can very easily remember all these different types of data types. Your set is unordered. Similarly, the dictionary is an unordered collection of key value pairs. So again, here is also, there is no any kind of ordering is there, but in dictionary, you can retrieve particular value from the dictionary. How actually you can retrieve particular value from the dictionary? Because a key is present over there. Because whatever the elements are available in the dictionary, all the elements are in the pairs. Pairs in a key value, key value. So by the key, you can retrieve particular value. Right? So it is a generally used when we have a huge amount of data. So if there is a huge amount of data, that time by the key value, you can retrieve a particular data. For example, pin code and city. So if you want to identify the city name by the pin code, so simply it is the key value is your pin code and value is your city name. So by entering a pin code, you will get the city name. Simple. So dictionary are optimized for retrieving the data. So if even the huge number of elements are there, but here you can retrieve a data by the key value. So optimizedly, you can easily retrieve particular value from the huge amount of data. So this is the advantage of dictionary. So we must know the key to retrieve the value. But again, this is a limitation. Suppose if you want to retrieve value, you must know the key. Right? If you know the key, you can retrieve a value. So dictionaries are defined within the curly bracket. Again, this dictionary also defined in the curly bracket. So you should not confuse in between set and dictionary, right? Because set is also using curly bracket and dictionary is also using a curly bracket. But what is the difference? In dictionary, it is the elements are in the key value pairs. But in set, the elements are not in key value pairs, right? So even if it is a curly bracket, by this element, you can easily identify their type. Either it is set or dictionary. So dictionaries are defined within the curly bracket. So we use a key to retrieve the respective value, but not the other way around. So by using this key, you can retrieve particular value, but by the value, you cannot retrieve a key. Now we'll see this example. In this example, suppose, so D is a dictionary and this is a key and this is a value. This is a key and this is a value. So suppose, so one is a key and this is the value. So key is a key and two is the value. Now if you print this, so it will type D. Type D means here either it is set or dictionary. So the Python will identify it is in the pair of key and value. So it printed display the output like it is a dictionary. Print D of 1. D of 1. So first element, if you want to access, how you can access by the key value. So 1 is the key value. Yes, available over there. So in the output should be the value. So here D of 1 is equals to value. Yes. Next one is print D of key. D of key is available. Yes, this is a key. This is a key. So by this key, you can access a value. So D of key is equals to what? 2. So in the output, there is a 2. Okay. And the third one, print T of 2. Now here, there is no any kind of key value. 2 key value is not present over there. So obviously, it generates a error message. Right? So very simple. The same way, actually, you can implement here D is equals to curly bracket 1 value comma 2. To small dictionary, for example, I have see here. Again, for the Python, as I already told you, single quote or double quote, no matter. See, it does not show any kind of error message. It displayed a type that is dictionary. Type is dictionary. Suppose if I want to access a value, so I'm giving a key, that is key is 1, D1. So D1 for this key, what is the value? Value is value. So this output is value. Suppose here I am giving key, because here it is 1, but here it is a name is key. So here it is 2. So 2 is not available over there, right? 2 is not there. So but I am giving a 2. So obviously, definitely I will get the error message because the key does not exist. The 2 is not available over there. If I would write the same thing here by this way, value, and if suppose I run this, obviously I will get the value 2. Because the key is not available over there. Whose value is 2. Right? It is not available. Earlier, that's why I got the error message, but whenever I have put a value for the key 2, it will run successfully. Right. Next one is conversion between the data types. Conversion between data types. For example, you are using float. Sorry. If you are using a float and if you want to convert into the integer, or if you are using integer and if you want to convert into the float. And again, suppose if you are using one data type list, and if you want to convert into the tuple, yes, this kind of all types of conversion is possible in Python. So again, sometime if you are not defining, Python convert it automatically, implicitly, but there is a chances of data lost. Data loss chances are there. How? For example, say integer 10.6, and if you are converting in this float value 10.6 value into the integer, so integer after conversion the output is 10. So obviously data loss is there, na? 0.6 data loss is there. Similarly, integer minus 10.6. So whenever you are converting this integer float value into the integer, so you will find that data loss is there. 0.6 is not available in the output. The output is minus 10. But actually, float to integer, the conversion is possible. Again, integer to float, it is 5 value is there. So in the output, it is a 5.0. So float 2.5, so output is 2.5, string 25. So in a string, it's single quotes considered as a string, 25 integer 1p. So p is there, obviously, you will get the error message. We will see. So integer 10.6. When I run, see data loss is there, 0.6, and it convert your float value into the integer value. Similarly, if it is minus 10.6, so the output is a minus. The data loss is there. And suppose I'm writing float of 5. So obviously I will get the 5.0 float of 5. And similarly, suppose I'm writing integer and a string. I'm given the string. String is that 1 of p. I will get error message. Right? Similarly, suppose if you want to convert a data type like set, for example, list to set you want to convert. So this is a list of items 1, 2, 3. This is a list of items you want to convert into the set. So set this 1, 2, 3 element, this element. It is converted into the set. So here the curly bracket is there. As we have discussed earlier, for the list, it is a square bracket. For the tuple, it is a rounded bracket. Set, it is the curly bracket. Right? So set, curly bracket. For example, for the tuple, we are giving a set values 5, 6, 7. It is in the set, and we are giving into the tuple. So tuple convert this set into the tuple. So 5, 6, 7 It is in the tuple. As we have discussed earlier, tuple is, that is rounded bracket. So for the tuple is a rounded bracket. List of hello, HELLO. So it is converted into the list, right? Similarly, we can convert to dictionary element, and this dictionary element must be in the pair. So like 1, comma 2, 3, comma 4. By this way, actually, you have to provide input, and it will convert into the dictionary element like 1 colon 2, 3 colon 4, like that. You can convert one data type to another data type. Right? So we'll see the same thing, like if you are in the set of, say, so 1 comma 2 comma 3. See, set means a curly bracket, right? And here it is a list, right? It is converted into the set. Now the next one is, for example, suppose I am using this set. Suppose I am using this set, and I want to convert into the tuple. Set to tuple. So see, set values are converted into the tuple. Suppose this tuple value I want to convert into the list. So see here, for the tuple it is rounded bracket, and for the list it is in the square bracket. So this small difference that you have to remember. If you could not remember, simply write down type and the list name, tuple name. You will come to know their type. Either it is a set, it is a list, or it is a tuple. And the same way you can actually convert. Already we have converted. And suppose if you want to convert into dictionary, we have to provide two values, and not in curly bracket, in a square bracket. And it will convert it into this. Okay. Now see, there's a key value, there's a key, and this is a value. There's a key, and this is a value. And you can access the dictionary element by their value. Already we have seen by the key. Let's suppose if I want to print whatever the value over there, dictionary, for example, one. First, actually, I have to convert into the dictionary. The dictionary, after conversion, actually, I have to use to retrieve a particular value. So here, actually, I have converted the same thing. I have to pass into the another name, and the same thing I have to use to retrieve the particular element. I think time is over. The next lecture is there. Okay, students, my lecture time is over. Can you remind me from the next lecture if I'm going beyond the time? Now you can leave the session. The session is over. Thank you, student. Did you understand today's lecture? Kindly acknowledge and you can leave the session. Thank you. Thank you very much.